This problem is from Objective 3. Which of the following tables best represents a linear function with a rate of change of negative 4/5? So a linear function, so we know it's going to create a straight line and it's going to have a rate of change, which is just another word for slope, of negative 4/5. They give us 4 different tables. I'm going to show you how to plot these points on the calculator and do a linear regression to get a line of best fit. So let's bring in the calculator, turn it on. First we need to enter the data into a list, and I'm going to put this one in list 1 and this one in list 2. Just make that smaller while I do this. So we need brackets. So second bracket, I'm going to put -6, comma, -4, comma, -2, comma, 6, comma, and 10, close bracket. We're going to store that in list 1, and list 1 is right in here and it's yellow, so we're going to do second 1. So that stores that in list 1. Hit enter, and there they are. So this data right here, there it is. And we're going to put the y's in list 2, so we're going to do a similar thing. Get a bracket. We're going to do 6.5, comma, 4, comma, 1.5, comma, -8.5, comma, -13.5. Close that bracket and store that into list 2. And list 2 is right here. It's yellow. Hit enter. So now we've stored these, and we can go look at those lists so you can see. The list is right here above the stat button, so second list, and enter. Well, it doesn't show me like that's not what I wanted. Let's try stat, edit, and there they are. List 1 and list 2. Same data. Okay, let's clear this off. Now we're going to do a linear regression, and that's what we do to get a line of best fit. So, and that's a statistics function. So hit the stat button. We're going to calculate, so arrow over, and linear regression is number 4. So either punch number 4 or arrow down. Enter. And we want it on list 1 and list 2. So we're going to do that same thing. List 1, comma, list 2. And then I want to store it into a y variable so I can graph it. So that's a variable. And we're going to arrow over to y variable. So it's a function. And we'll just put it in 1. So I'll hit enter. And there it is. Hit enter to run this. Here's my linear regression. It found that A is -1.25. So that is our slope. And our y-intercept is B here. It's -1. Let's see what we're looking for. Let me expand this. We were looking for -4/5. -4/5 is -8/10, not -1.25. So I know this isn't the right answer. But let's go ahead and look at it anyway. Now I stored this in y1, so it should be on there, but let's check. There it is. We graph it. There's my straight line. Let's look at the table. So second graph. Let's make sure it matches. So I'm going to go up to -6, and sure enough, 6.5. -4 is at 4, same as this. -2 is at 1.5. Let's arrow down to 6, or I think we can, well, we could, but let's 6 is at negative 8.5, and 10 is negative 13.5. So this is the right data, but we don't get the right slope, so it's not A. Let's go to B. So I do second quit. We're going to enter new information in list 1 and list 2. So brackets, negative 3, comma, negative 1, comma, 3. Whoops. Delete that. 5, 8, close the bracket, store it into list 1. Enter, so it does it. There they are. Now let's do list 2. 5.4, 3.8, 0.6, negative 1, and negative 3.4. Close the bracket, store it into list 2. And enter to do it. Okay, let's clear this off just so it's nice and clean and do the linear regression. It's a statistics function. Calculate number 4. We want list 1 and list 2, comma, list 2, and we'll store it again in y1, which is a variable, y variables, it's a function, y1. Hit enter. Okay, here's my slope, negative 0.8 and 3. Remember, let's look again. My slope is negative 4/5. Now I know that's the same as negative 8, but in case we didn't, what you could do is put it in here, negative 4/5, and it is negative 0.8. So this does have a slope that we're looking for. Let's graph it just to see. Goes down just like we expect. Let's check the table. Negative 3, 5.4. There it is. Negative 1, 3.8. 3 is 0.6. 5 is negative 1. And 8 is negative 3.4. So we're good here. This looks like the answer. Of course, we're not going to stop there. Let's see what I can do here. Okay. C. We're going to do the same thing. Now, let's put it in a little different. Let's go to second list. Well, no, I want stat, edit, and I'll just put them in right here. We want negative 4, negative 2, 1, 4, and 6. And let's see, list 2. How do I do that? Okay, there we go. List 2, we're going to put negative 2, 0.5, 4.25, 8, and 10.5. Okay, second quit. So those are in the list, just a different way to put them in the list. Now let's run the linear regression. It's a statistics function. Let's calculate number 4, linear regression. Same thing, lists L1 and L2. Well, let's put it in a different variable just so to show you. Y variable function. Let's put it in y sub 2 instead. enter to do it. Here's my slope, positive 1.25. My y-intercept is 3. I know this isn't it because I wanted a slope that was negative, but let's look at it anyway. And here it is, the second one, because we put it in y sub 2. Let's turn this one off. So I toggle off. So now it is off. This one's on. Graph it. There it is, positive slope. We can look at the table, verify that this information is what we have. Negative 4, negative 2, negative 2.5. Yeah, it looks good. And we know that that is not it. And the last one, we'll just enter it again like I did. Edit. Okay, stat edit. Let's go to list 1. Negative 7. Negative 4. Negative 1. 3 and 5. Go over to list 2. Negative 10.6. Whoops. Delete that one. Negative 8.2. Negative 5.8. Negative 2.6. And negative 1. Okay, quit out of this. We'll run a linear regression, calculate. Number 4, list 1. Now I could put these in different lists, but list 1 and list 2 are just fine. And let's put it in the variable 1. Enter to run. Okay, here's my slope, 0.8. My y-intercept is negative 5. We know this is not correct either, but we'll graph it. There it is, positive slope. Oops, got 2 of them on there. Okay, so let's turn this one off. So we'll arrow down to the second one and toggle it off. Okay, he's off. Now let's graph him. So there it is. And we know that is not our answer. So there's a way to do it using the calculator. But what if you don't know how to do that? You forget. So what's another way we can do is just look at the rate of change. Remember, slope or rate of change is rise over run. Okay, and if this is linear, my rise and run has to be constant throughout the whole graph. I mean, it's the same number every time. So my rise is my difference between my y's, and my run is the difference between the x's. So I can just pick 2 points. The difference between these two x's, depending on if I go from negative 6 to negative 4, that increases by 2. If I go from 6.5 to 4, that decreases by 2.5. So for this, my rise is negative 2.5 over my run is 2. Enter that. This is not the same as negative 4.8. So I know it can't be this one. So no sense in even checking any other pairs of points, because if it doesn't work in one part, it's not going to matter if it works in the others. It's got to work every 2 that we do. So I already know B works, so let's just eliminate C and D, and then we'll look at B. So my rate of change from negative 4 to negative 2, I'm increasing by 2. And from negative 2 to positive 0.25, I'm increasing 2.5. So my rise is 2.5 and my run is 2, so rise over run. That is a positive slope, and I'm looking for a negative slope, so I know it is not this one either. Okay, this one, to go from -7 to -4, that would be my run. It's a +3. To go from -10.6 to -8.2 is a +2.4. And let's use my calculator. My rise is 2.4 over my run is 3. Enter that. This is a positive slope. 0.8. How do we change that to a fraction? Do math. Enter, enter. There it is, 4/5, but we're looking for a -4/5. So it doesn't work in all places, so it doesn't matter. Now this one should work everywhere. Let me just my rise or my run here from -3 to -1 is +2, and from 5.4 to 3.8 we would subtract, just subtract those. The difference is 2. Oh no, that's wrong. Let's try again. 5.4 minus 3.8. Okay, that looks better. 1.6. So my slope between those 2 points is I rise 1.6 over my run is 2, which is 8/10, or if I want to convert that to a fraction, math, enter, which is 4/5. Oh, we're looking for -4/5. Have I made a mistake? Oh yes, I have. 5.4 to 3.8 is decreases. Okay. So everybody catch that? So it's a -1.6. From -1 to 3, I'm increasing 4. And from 3.8 to 0.6, I'm decreasing 3.2. I can check the slope between those. -3.2 is my rise over my run is 4. And I get my negative slope. Here, between these two, I go up 2, and I'm going down 0.4. So my rise, -0.4, divided by my run, 2. What am I doing? Okay. Start again. From 3 to 5, I'm increasing 2. From 0.6 to -1, I'm decreasing by 1.6. So my rise is -1.6 over my run, which is 2. Again, -0.8. My last one, my rise is 3, or my run is 3. Tired. And my rise is -2.4. So -2.4 divided by 3, same slope. So, 2 ways we can do it. Calculator's nice and easy if you can remember. can also do it by hand.